Certainly an uptick in offensive capabilities. Queen Walkers had the strongest opening war match yesterday with 14 stars, very close to that perfect as you mentioned, but don't count out Vatang. They might be considered underdogs here, but the Queen Walkers aren't guaranteed victory. I just am ready for this first battle to see how things start to shape up, Lady B.
Yeah, the first attacks really set the tone of these wars, seeing who can come in, set the nerves aside, and potentially pick up a 3-star off the bat. But Stadra up to plate, and he has been doing some great work here for the team. And we're going to have to see if he can do a little bit more bringing in the Super Witches.
That's right, Lady B. Stadra picked up a 3-star yesterday and is looking to start again strong for the Queen Walkers right here and now. Super Witches, a new strat made popular by Tribe Gaming earlier this year. Though they didn't qualify for Worlds, they are watching and must be proud to see their favorite army comp storming through on the world stage. Stadra with a Warden walk up top, a bit slower than the Queen walks, but longer range lets you pierce a bit further into the base.
That long range definitely going to help out, but I also want to point out the fact that he is bringing 5 Super Witches. This is something that Itsu, who helped bring that forward in the matches, is very adamant about, because the power of the Super Witch really does rely in those big boys. So having that extra big boy really can help out, and we saw that in the last matchup. It made a difference in one of those attacks. So Stadra gets the witches set in place. We've got the siege barracks down, and this is all leading to that push for the town hall and narrowed out.
Poor Barbarian can get scorched along the outer edge, but survives as he moves out of range of the single target Inferno. The biggest threat for these Super Witch attacks is losing on time overall, or dropping Super Witches early. Stadra only has 5, and he wants to keep all 5 of them up and alive through the entirety of this attack. One Super Witch out on the left side edge has gotten really low on hit points. Got to be careful to avoid giant bombs or any big explosions that could cause splash damage onto them. Scatter shots damaging quite a few of these Super Witches, and even though they're on target, jumping over walls and raged up in the core, it's not guaranteed victory yet, Lady B.
It is not, especially because we have the healers up top with just 1 Super Witch, where it should be inside the base with the core of the troops. The Queen has had to force her ability earlier than he wanted, but we still have a saving grace here, and that is the Royal Champion and her Seeking Shield, which has not yet been dropped. But we have the Eagle Artillery up, a defending enemy Queen, but big boys are coming to the rescue.
There's no time to spare. The Super Witch up top goes down, and Seeking Airmine and Expos will annihilate those healers. There's not very much firepower left in this attack, and with a giant bomb taken out, another wizard on the bottom, the remaining cleanup troops are not going to be up to the task. Stadra from Queen Walkers is desperate for any additional percentage. The last free spell goes down to put the ice on this icy Queen, but I don't think a triple is likely. The Eagle Artillery, the last line of defense, the big behemoth on the backside just would not quit, and in the end Stadra will get a high 80% strike, Lady B.
This is not what they're hoping to see out of it, and it's all from that start. We had the switch over of the healers. If he had that push coming in, we would have been looking potentially at a different story. And while the witch on the outside did do some good work, that eagle was the main impact. This is the risk you take when you leave eagles up to the end, and it's not uncommon with these types of strategies, but you know that you run the risk. But he at very least got the 2-star and a reasonable percentage. But warning now, with the opportunity to command a lead, Zapquake down and set for the clan castle to eliminate that, so he can start off with his hero dive opener.
Down the alarm because Warning is on stage. Warning actually had the lowest percentage hit yesterday for Vatang at a 2-star 76%. That means that this is his opportunity for redemption now. An early stat from a Royal Champion, a bit of an atypical pick here. Usually you see her coming in later for the cleanup, but instead he's going to get a bit of work done next to that town hall to open it up for the later Lava Hound strike. He's committing a lot of resources early on here, and unfortunately he's going to sacrifice sacrifice quite a few troops to this top corner. Scattershot and Inferno Tower burning through a lot of it, but if he gets the effort in early on, he might just have the entry point necessary for the triple.
Oh, this is such a nice entry. We've got the wall wrecker leading the way. That Royal Champion was used to clear the path, get that line opening straight into it. We had the wall breakers opening up the path for the King and Queen, who are taking the charge. We still have one more super wall breaker to go, and the Queen ability here.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire for these poor heroes. Barbarian King is burnt to a crisp, and the Archer Queen goes down to the Giga. Oh, hold on, never mind. Had her ability to pop there, but is still going to take some more fire as she is just in the wrong spot here. Being shot at by cannons, Queen and Town Hall.
The Town Hall did not go down. He's got to adjust for this. He sends in the haste, gets the...
Oh, no!
Knows he needs to get more. He's got the freezes, but he wants to hang on to these, so now he has to force his Warden ability way too early.
That is probably the worst result that Warning could have encountered in the early stage of this hit. Forced not just to drop a salvo of balloons one time, but twice, and then pop the Eternal Tome. He is desperate to cling on to as much percentage as he can get. The only saving grace for Vatang right now is the fact that Queen Walkers couldn't triple on their first strike, but Warning is not happy about this with the last minute of his attack still underway. He's lost his Warden, and the entire army has just crumbled, Lady B.
This is a massive defense now coming in. 4 stars of Queen Walkers. That Town Hall not going down just completely annihilated all of Warning's plans. And you can have as many good plans intact as you want, but you know you have to find a way to pick up the 2-star. He handled that well. He sacrificed everything he had to get that done, and he made it work, but the percentage here now is quite a bit low.
We've only seen a few handful of hits that have only stagnated in the 60s, and unfortunately Warning will now be one of them. Vatang in the upper bracket, but just falling flat on their face against the Queen Walkers. Neither of these teams able to pick up a triple yet, but if it comes down to percentage, Queen Walkers are going to be far and ahead with a 21% gap that they've now built up against Vatang.
This gap could be a massive difference in the turnout of this. We talked about triples being a big thing coming in, but defense can be even bigger at that. So Gaku has a task to try and continue to forge a lead ahead, and he's bringing us through with Queen Charge Hybrid. We've seen some beautiful ones over the weekend. Queen working her way through from the 3 o'clock edge and lines up a nice path with the Baby Dragon to help, and the Coco Loons to take a little bit of cover for the healers.
We celebrated the Queen Walkers for having the highest hit rate yesterday, but Gaku was actually the only player on this squad to not pick up the triple. That means that we are still trying to build up momentum in this war. No 3-star yet, but a quick hit on the right side corner from this Queen will tear down the Town Hall before she gets distracted by CC troops.
It's a nice position to be in. We can see that she's not taking on too much damage here, just the cannon, so he doesn't necessarily need to force another rage right off the bat and doesn't need to force the ability. And we see this poison dropped. Nice placement that allows it to encompass all of those pops that come down. And as she can continue on her way, we've got another wall break, but this is down and set for the path with the siege barracks and the King working together to keep the hybrid pushing through.
Coconut Loon catches the Seeking Airmine. Good news for Gaku as his healers will stay strong protecting that Queen. Splash damage from the scatter shot will not be able to reach them, but take a look at the top because the main phase of the attack is underway. Barbarian King leads the charge as these heroes are supporting a massive hybrid army spread out along the top right corner, and they are encountering giant bombs, but have no fear. The Eternal Tome is here to protect them, Lady D.
That Eternal Tome doing massive work, and this final heal coming down. But look at this Queen go down at the 6 o'clock side of the base, continuing on, adding that support, hanging on to the ability as we get to see the Royal Champ holding on to her ability as well for this last remaining scatter shot, but the freeze helps to hold it off.
By Jove, I think he's done it! The first 3-star of this war coming in for the Queen Walkers. Gaku couldn't get it yesterday, but he has come back swinging hard. That is all she wrote. Well done to Gaku, coming home with the first triple.
That 3-star, did we notice that the Queen and the Royal Champion still had their abilities? And while he popped them off, he did not need to do that. We saw a lot of hero swag action yesterday. We get to see it coming in today. Gaku has got to be proud. We see the fans cheering him on to that victory here so far, but there is still more war to be had. We can't just count one single victory as the final blow.
It's a celebration! Take a quick look at that replay and now see the smiles on the faces of the Queen Walkers. They have pulled ahead and are showing off in style. Young Hun from Vatang will be your next attacker moving in. Young Hun didn't pick up the 3-star yesterday, but he came the closest of anyone with a 98% 2-star. It was just a little bit of time left at the end that separated him from that glorifying triple. Let's see what he's got here now. Electro Dragons, Lady B.
Electro Dragons, we've seen these working super quick, ripping through the bases. We've even seen them with a swag Royal Champion in the end of the raid. Now, I know that's not something you go in hoping for or assuming you can get, but we'll have to wait and see. What I do notice here is we do have a wall breaker, which means he's going to want to help to force the Queen in just a little bit further inside the base. So we have the King to tank to help with the push for the E-Drags.
This is a magnificent quick dump on the top side. Young Hun pops the Eternal Tome. Multiple rage spells going down. The freeze is out. This is a rapid fire drop. He is going straight for the Town Hall, but caught in a tornado trap. The Electro Dragons are slowed down quite a bit. Zapping through the enemy CC now. They're dragged away from the center of the base. Freeze spell to shut down the Town Hall, but there's no troops left in range. They're now distracted by lava pumps on the outer edge, and there might not be any way to get the Town Hall.
He's got the Royal Champion. He knows that he needed to hang on to this. Waiting. The Rage, the Royal Champion, the freeze is his only hope here. E-Drags go down. But again, it's about recovery for the 2-stars. Queen Walkers are coming in with some serious defense today. A 1-star would be phenomenal for them. Would almost put a nail in the coffin here. But no, he's not going to have it. Is he? The Royal
Skeleton Defense has done it! Gaku's holding on to the 2nd star, and that is absolute devastation for Vatang.
This war could not be any stronger from a defensive standpoint. We have yet to see that 1-star, that big defense here coming through. Queen Walkers showed us some phenomenal action yesterday when they pulled in that 99% defense and were able to turn a war around with a 3-star, and now sailing through with the 1-star here now, Banks.
An absolutely devastating blow to Vatang. Queen Walkers coming in with a triple from Gaku, and then Young Hun coming in with only a single star. We are so separate now between Queen Walkers and Vatang. 5 stars on the Queen Walker side, 2 stars on Vatang's side. And just to reiterate what Woody said previously, that they're so lucky that that 66% 2-star was matched by Queen Walkers having an 87% 2-star, but now we have just separated the 2 clans with those 2 attacks, Woody.
An unforced error by Vatang, and the Queen Walkers could not be happier with the result. 2 attacks on the board for each squad, and a 2-star advantage is almost too much to overcome. Stars from the Queen Walkers will be striding through valiantly on his next strike. Double Lava Hound Balloon Parade to lead off.
Patiently waiting here. You notice that timing. He's got the 7-1 combination for the Zap Quake here, and that is to take out the Clan Castle and the Queen. But the timing is key when you're looking to take out the Queen, because you need to slam those lightning spells down quickly.
Barbarian King chopping along the right edge, going to get a little bit of funneling done here for Stars, trying to get the perfect entry point. Of course, for Lava Loon hits, you're always focused on those air defenses. 3 along the exterior will be easy targets. The first goes down to the King. There's a 4th one that's a little bit more centralized next to that Royal Champion down at the bottom. Keep an eye on that one and maybe see some headhunters going to take her out too.
King's doing a great job to take down the Town Hall. We've got the Ice Golem now to tank for the Queen with a super wall breaker that's going to give her access to the scatter shot and take on a little bit more pathing value now.
Freeze from the Ice Golem isn't far enough to clip on that scatter shot, and that's going to be a bit more damage coming in on Stars' Queen charge here at the top corner, but as long as she can reach that air defense, that's going to be an A-OK job for her. Only really concerned now about time, as we're over 1:10 now into the raid, and Stars has yet to get his first Lava Hound on the field.
Yeah, that scatter doesn't go down. The main push of that was to take down the scatter shot, but nicely placed Skelly's help hold on that portion of the base, and this means he's going to be coming in with the scatter shot on the back end. That's a tough thing to have to worry about. He does have a freeze. He may need to hold on to this. He's got a great push, though. It's shaped up mostly how he wanted to see, but he is going to have to adapt a little bit.
Well, the Queen Walkers can float on through. 2 stars is going to be solid for them, as they've already claimed that and are just working on overall damage now. Like you mentioned, Lady E, that scatter shot up top is going to be a massive roadblock for them to face off against, but he's getting a lot of work done on the bottom corner now. Drops the freeze on the Eagle to save a few more shots against this Dragon. Looks like it's taking the damage right now. Haste spell on the Loons to try to get through the last wave of defenses, but it just seems like there's too much to count.
He's really hanging on to these spells here. He knows he has a possibility of the last push, but there is too much DPS coming in with that scatter shot there. We've got 1 Loon dropped, hoping to distract. Freeze goes down just a tiny bit too late. And now with this Loon coming in, hasted to get on that dead zone, but a Black Bomb knocks it out. We still have the Warden's health, but does he have enough time to get that down? He's got a lot in his way to get through before he gets to the scatter shot, and it could take a lot of damage on the Warden.
This is an incredible pickup relative to where he was at just a minute ago. Stars doing his best to finish off this scatter shot. The Warden gets one more hit in, and there it goes. Still, the Archer Tower is fine on defense, and taking out these minions is going to be its #1 job. Just a smidgen of defense left up top, but there's no separation between 3 stars and 94%, besides just that little bit left.
You gotta love the fact that he's been able to try and turn that around, pull in so much percentage with a beautiful Lalo push. The pathing was superb. If he had taken down that scatter shot, we know that would have been the triple, because that scatter shot really did mess up what he had left over. But his patience on the use of the spells is what carried that through to an additional high percent that they wanted to see for the team there.
The next attack will be from Lancelot, one of our 2 3-star players. And he is ready to try to salvage this operation for Vatang. Having advanced from the in-game planned war leagues, they've gone toe-to-toe with the best out there. And of course, picking up that golden ticket in the very second month of competition, Vatang was right there alongside alternate attacks at the top of the game. But can they hold on to it? These gems are looking cracked right now, as the Queen Walkers are stampeding all over them in the first couple of attacks.
A 3-star is certainly needed to try and find some way to turn this around and maybe give Queen Walkers a taste of their own medicine from yesterday. But it is a long haul, and it is a long shot to try and get that done. We have the Warden to start leading the way with the Zapquake that's helped with the path. Notice the core of the base here slightly moded out, which is going to help with narrowing out the push. He's using the natural shape of the base to go in with this plan.
Yeah, a lot of times with these spread out bases, you want to try to work with the flow of the design rather than against it. He's going to go for a U-shaped push in the top left and then work his way back up to the Town Hall, holding on to a Battle Blimp as a plan B to go after the Town Hall if absolutely necessary. Definitely does not want to repeat that 1-star hit earlier on from his squad. He needs a triple here and now just to keep Vatang alive.
This is really interesting that he's leaving that Town Hall to the very end. It's a risky approach. He does have the blimp, like you said, but you do have to worry about possible beta traps. Now, with the big boys working their way through the core, he does manage to get a push coming in, but we've got the main pack, the majority of those witches on the outside edge, and the healers have split up to the very few that are inside the core here.
Yeah, that is an awkward split for Lancelot. More often, you'd want to keep all those super witches a bit more clumped up together. He needed at least a few more in the center to deal with the CC, which is finally getting cracked down. Sends in the Battle Blimp now as we are halfway through this raid. It'll make a beeline for the Town Hall and is sure to get the 2nd star in.
Well, those healers definitely in the core. They're at the very least help to cover some of the path for any possible traps along the way. And he's able to get through, cut across without using the Warden ability, which was was used earlier and get that town hall down. But we have few witches remaining. We still at least have the queen and royal champion ability left, which is what you want to see. But now, again, that huge factor that we talk about with these super witches is time.
Royal Champion has not even yet been deployed, and I'm starting to wonder where Lancelot thinks he's going to find the DPS if he doesn't get that last hero down. Drops a couple more balloons up top to clear out an unprotected cannon, and with the last charge, here she comes, Lady B. The Royal Champion tossing that spear, wearing that big, beautiful new winter skin, hooded and cloaked. Can she stab the dagger in the right corner quick enough? 28 seconds remain, and there's no jump spells, no ways over these hurdles except straight through them.
That long shot of the Seeking Shield, knocking down the defenses along the way, trying to get that final push coming through. 15 seconds left. We've got the Queen who's already used the ability, but we've got the storages to still worry about. And the Queen needs to beat her way through the wall. We've got witches rounding the corner, but not enough time to get this one done.
Time heals all wounds, but it also ends all raids, and in this case, Lancelot faces off against the perennial foe of Super Witches and has fallen. No chance at a 3-star redemption for Vatang, and the Queen Walkers will continue their march of glory.
That age-old tale of the Super Witches just causing time fails all the time. Lancelotta had an opportunity there to get at least 3 stars on the board to try and get them into a better position going up against Queen Walkers, but only managing to be able to put 2 on the board just leaves them trailing in Queen Walker's wake. So unfortunate, Lady B.
Very unfortunate. It's a tough spot to be in, but they do know that there's a little turnaround here that if they don't make it through today or in this match, we'll see them in the lower bracket. So they've got to keep their heads up and keep their focus down. But for now, we've got Klaus in, sending the Yeti blimp to open up this path for the Queen charge, eliminating that scatter shot. But we've got the headhunters coming out of the clan castle to worry about. And the healers are taking the lead there. He freezes them up, though, to try and keep this Queen coming through and alive.
The disappointment for Vatang is the celebration for the Queen Walkers as Klaus seeks to continue his 3-star performance from yesterday. Early pull of the CC, kicking it old school as he takes him down with the poison spell. A nice start here for this Archer Queen as she got an early help from that battle blimp to knock that compartment apart. Without that siege machine, though, he's not going to have an easy way of going after the town hall. And with an entry point on the opposite corner, you got to hope that he's in this one for the long haul.
Definitely in this for the long haul. We've got another wall breaker to open up her path. He wants to shape this up. When you see these Queen charges, you really want to narrow out your pathing for your Lalo, which typically means you want to see your Queen pushing into the core. And bear in mind, we've got the air sweepers in there. We have the multi-targeting Inferno in there. We have the King already shaping up some of the push and the Royal Champion here to get that Queen motivated to move in. And we've got another scatter shot here in the way.
Most often, you want to get your main army deployed by around that 1-minute mark, but the more damage you can do with your heroes, the less work your main army has to do. The shape of the base may be amenable yet to Klaus's late entry. We are over halfway through this raid, and the loons and lava hounds are still waiting to be deployed. Finally, they make their way out of the top with the Grand Warden to support, but this just might be a problem for time now, Lady B.
Time isn't too much of an issue. Because the Queen's done so much work, I'm not that worried about it. We've seen these Queen charges work their way through with just under 1:30 before deployment. The Queen needs to carry on, though, and it's that scatter shot I'm most worried about. It takes a shot on the healers to knock them out, and the Queen's not taking it down. So that could be the bigger issue for this Lalo, not getting down the scatter shot again.
Queen misses the kill on the King and trades her gravestone for his. She is finished off in the mid, and the Grand Warden has no more tanks out in front to protect these balloons. That life ore is nice and helpful, but can they make it all the way through the backside in time? 30 seconds left to finish off the last scatter shot and clean up this base. Klaus, go fast, man! There's no time to spare!
The time is not on his side for this one with the storages, but that scatter shot is raining down. But for now, taking on the Warden so the loons can sneak their way in.
Yes!
A nice split could help to get the storages down. The
might
Warden
have it!
survives, and he's able to power through.
He's got it! 3 stars for Klaus! The final second, and the Queen Walkers have all but guaranteed their advancement. There is very little excitement on their side, as it seems like they're more likely to be breathing a sigh of relief. But wow, Lady B, with the loss of the Archer Queen in the mid, a big damage differential missing for the Queen Walkers. They barely swept through in time.
That rage helped everything. A scatter shot in the back end is the worst thing you want to see, even an eagle, and he manages to come out of that clean. This is a solid showing today, not only defensively as we've seen, but offensively as well from the Queen Walkers. Diff just needing to keep motivation going for the rest of the day with his team here brings us through with the Zapquake Witch.
Unlikely he'll be able to make a difference now, as a 5-star separation for the Queen Walkers is just too much to overcome. But Vatang will have a chance later on in the lower bracket, assuming that is where they are going, and Diff wants to hold his head high as he makes his way down. They are certainly going to continue trying with 2 attacks left, but with the maximum possibility of 11 stars, Queen Walkers really just have to get an easy walkaway win with their 5th and final hit.
That's the main thing here. Playing it safe is all they need to do right now to walk into tomorrow's matches. With Diff coming through, we've got the Witches working straight to the core of the base. The King is set for the path to take on the Town Hall here, and we have his ability that's going to help force the way in and move along. And that also helps keep the Warden ability with a bit of a deeper push as he meets up with the scatter shots.
Breezing through and got another jump spell ready to go. Diff has got lots of walls to get over here, but he is ready to go the distance, hurdling over every obstacle thus far, and with plenty of healing support from the Grand Warden. Healers dropping every single bit of life energy they can on these witches. That is going to be a ton of skeletons left yet. Tesla Trap on the outside is going to be no trouble at all for a Royal Champion, still holding on to that shield ability. He's now targeting the Eagle Artillery up top, and with that down, that's the main force on defense. There's hardly any splash damage left.
No splash. Well, the Wizard Towers we have to worry about. The single targeting Inferno we have to worry about, which is why he's hanging on to this freeze. But when you have your Queen ability, your Royal Champion ability, and the slew of Skellies coming through, you know you're in a good position. That last wall break down, opening up the path here, so he doesn't have to worry too much about being targeted as he moves along.
Ready, aim, fire! Archer Queen's Royal Cloak annihilates the Eye of Sauron standing in the top corner, and with that, she may be no man, but she has laid waste to the enemy's countryside. Diff from Vatang gets the triple!
An incredibly impressive attack there from Diff, but is it too little too late, as Queen Walkers are still running away with it, being 2 stars ahead going into the final attack against Vatang? I mean, it's not impossible, but it's very improbable, Lady B.
I would say very improbable, but we don't count anything out. For the World Championship Finals, these teams are trying to bring their best bases forward, and sometimes all you need is a crazy defense, even like that 1 star that we saw. But it's up to Young Hun to try and have put something out there that he knows can bait in Yuta. Yuta was the hitter, though, that we saw yesterday that brought it home for Queen Walkers. And again, all he needs to do is play it safe here, Woody.
The 1 star, 41% is enough to take him over the edge. Of course, a 2 star from the Queen Walkers would also be sufficient to guarantee advancement. Vatang, eliminated in the first day of the 2019 World Finals, has got a chance to move on later in the lower bracket, but the Queen Walkers are striding through with valiant effort. Yuta 14 in the top corner gets a great entry point for this Archer Queen, but is she going to go inside this base? Really need to take down that scattershot and Eagle. Where's she going, Lady B?
He's forcing his King ability to try and get this Queen walking through into one of these openings. We see the wall breaker, super wall breaker coming in to open up that path. The Royal Champion also helping to set the tone, moving the Queen in. So this has worked out perfectly so far for Yuta.
A big cost, but he's willing to pay it to get down so many crucial defenses. But triple single target Infernos on the interior are going to be enough to heat up any hero or Lava Hound that comes too close. Yuta 14 has got to keep those in mind, as the CC pulled out will be an easy kill for this Archer Queen. Poison is down to finish off the pups that come on out. Scattershot still standing at that top position, could be troublesome, as could the Archer Queen on Valiant defense next to that Town Hall.
That Queen is in a perfect position to take that on. We've got the direct push of the Lalo to go for the Town Hall, to give the Queen some time to take on the defending enemy Queen, to work her way through, take on the Scattershot. She takes the outside edge, though, and needs to work her way back in and get to the Queen quickly.
This is looking great, but Yuta spent a lot of spell power already. Only has one Rage, a Haste, and a couple of Breezes left. Gets the Battle Blimp right over the Town Hall, and with the drop, Queen Walkers have secured the 2-star and victory in this war.
He held on to that really well. That Warden stood really far behind the Blimp, sailing across to take down the Town Hall. Warden ability reserved now for the back end Loon push, and the Queen still carries on, hanging on to her ability. This last freeze can help hold off the air defense, and he could power through this one with 42 seconds left to go.
A giant bomb dropping from the sky and detonation on Younghun's base. The Queen Walkers holding pace in their final strike, looking for their 13th star, and Yuta will not be denied. Two heroes still standing tall, and the last ability has been popped. Yuta 14, with plenty of time for the cleanup, has got it in the bag. Congratulations to the Queen Walkers and their fans. You will be seeing them again in the playoffs tomorrow.
The Queen Walkers have been bringing fire this weekend. They earned their spot in the 6 qualifiers by taking down INTZ, who had a phenomenal performance, hitting at 80%. INTZ, nobody expected to see them go down to the Queen Walkers, but that's what they've been showing us, that they're coming here, they're going to sneak their way through, and they are going to take advantage of their enemies' weaknesses.
Last hit from Vatang is gonna be from Kiberos. A 78% 2-star yesterday. He wants that triple here and now. He has brought the Lava Hound strike. No healers to support a walk early on, instead relying on this spell damage to zap through the top corner.
Nice use of the Zapquake combination. Now he limits the amount of lightning spells and quakes that he uses, so he can let the RC help open up the path here for this Queen charge, but still allow for some spell space now for the Lalo portion as well, or the Rages for this Queen charge.
Love that damage combo. Still leaves the Eagle Artillery up, though. Will he have a chance to shoot it down with this Queen? He's actually got the healers after all and will be going in deep.
With the 2 super wall breakers left, it is going to be a big push straight through to the core. We talked about this earlier. When you do your Queen charges with a Lalo, you want to shape up the pathing, you want to narrow it out, and you want to get straight into the core, particularly where you have a lot of damage coming in. That helps take out some of the potential traps in there where you don't have the defenses that Carbon had pointed out earlier today, and this Queen picking up massive value by working her way through to take on the scatter shots.
Quick drops the Battle Blimp on the Town Hall, catching a Seeking Air Mine, and will finish off for the first star. Kiberos from Vatang has got multi-pronged hits going in on the bottom and top corners. He is cutting a path just straight through this base. A march to the sea. Total war and destruction so far, but he's got a lot of cleanup as this pinch needs to come in on the right side edge to finish off the remaining defenses. Pops the Archer Queen's ability, but a Royal Champion tossing her spear at is going to be dealing a lot of damage. 3 spell is down to protect.
This Queen has taken on a lot of fire. You gotta commend Kiberos for how he's timed all of this. We've got the Loon push straight before the Queen dies out. Just too much going on at once, and it's not enough to coordinate keeping the Queen alive. We've got the Royal Champion still up, but the Eternal Tome from the Warden helps at least with that push through to the core.
Whether you're playing chess or Clash of Clans, the loss of a Queen may mean resignation. Kiberos is going to lose out on a big offensive attacker here now, and with the defending royal champion next to that air defense, she is going to be popping down balloons, lickety-split. What can he do to survive this last corner? I don't think there's anything left, Lady B.
Oh, he tried with that freeze down on the air sweeper, on the single targeting Inferno and the royal champ to try and give it some time to move in. And had the pups and minions work their way through quick enough, maybe we could have seen some sort of difference, but it was still a beautiful attack from Kiberos, and you gotta commend him on that.
An admirable attempt, but it just seems like Queen Walker's defenses are far too strong for Vatang. Queen Walker's coming out victorious and are in the playoffs tomorrow, absolutely smashing their way through those bases. But yes, once again, we have to commend the base builders for Queen Walker's.